Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. My name is Mindy Banks. I'm the Flip Flop Chef, and today I'm going to show you how to make a chocolatey eclair cake using some graham crackers, Cool Whip, and some pudding mix. So I hope you guys are excited about this. I'm excited. This is the first time I've made it in our rectangular pull and serve tray. So we're going to be doing that together for the first time today. If this is the first time you're watching one of my videos, please hit the subscribe button while you're here, and also be sure you go to theflipflopchef.com, and that's where you'll access my recipe group. There's a button at the top of the page. It'll redirect you to my group on Facebook. I have thousands of recipes there. I have pretty much all the videos that are housed on YouTube. You can also find them in that group. But I have a giveaway every single Friday, and you have access to over 40 downloadable cookbooks right there in the file section, and those are free for you to download. So let's go ahead and get started. Now that you know where to get all the recipes, I will post this recipe there as well. So that's where you're going to be able to find it. So I'm going to mix up some pudding mixture in our small mixing bowl set. So I love these bowls. They come as a set here, and I'm going to use the biggest one because we're using 3 boxes of pudding and 4.5 cups of milk, and we're going to fold in that whipped topping. Now this recipe calls for 3 boxes of French vanilla pudding, and I went by our Publix that's by our church today, and it's not like your full-size Publix, so they don't have everything. I was so disappointed that they did not have a French vanilla pudding, but I wasn't going to go to another store, so I did a quick Google search to see how I could liven this up since it's not French vanilla, and the suggestion that I found was to take a vanilla bean and add the vanilla beans from within the bean to the pudding mixture. So you're going to get a little bit of an extra perk here today. You're going to learn how to do that if you don't already know. So let's do that first so that I don't forget to show you and I don't forget to add it in. I bought these Madagascar vanilla beans, which I think are the best quality beans, are the Madagascar vanilla, and I got these at Costco, and I'm just going to take out 1 bean. By the way, the pricing at Costco is really, really good for vanilla beans compared to other places, even compared to what you're going to get online. Now I'm going to take my paring knife. I'm actually going to zoom in here so that you guys can see this, because it is one of those things that's hard to tell you what I'm doing. It's easier to just show you. So I'm kind of going down all the way down the bean, but I'm not going all the way through. So you're gonna just make a little cut going through that skin, but not going all the way through to the other side. We don't wanna cut this bean in half. We just want to open it up kind of like a hot dog bun. So you're gonna sort of pull this apart, and then you wanna grab on to one end. I recommend using the back of the knife so that you're not cutting anything, but look at this. So this is how you get vanilla beans. Okay, so I'm just gonna continue to scrape. Look at this. So whenever you buy vanilla bean ice cream, this is where the vanilla beans, the little teeny tiny flecks, they come from this bean. You can use these and save them. I probably will regret throwing that away, but for time's sake, I'm not gonna come up with an idea for that, but you can even put it in like infuse your water. You can get really creative with that kind of stuff. So what I'm gonna do first, I'm leaving this on this knife for the moment. We're gonna take 4.5 cups of milk. This is 2%. I think whole milk would probably give this a little bit more richness, but we're gonna work with what I have. And I'm gonna take these vanilla beans, I'm gonna take my whisk, and I'm gonna just whisk this into the milk. Okay, so I use my whisk to take the vanilla beans off of the knife, and now that little clump of flecks is all incorporated into the milk. So if you don't want to see the vanilla bean flecks in your recipe, then make sure you get French vanilla pudding, right? Or leave it out completely if you're like me and you couldn't find it. I just wanted to enhance that flavor. So I've got the vanilla beans mixed in to our milk, and you're going to need 3 of the 3.4 ounce containers of vanilla instant pudding powder, right? So this is not cook and serve. You want instant, because this is actually a no-bake recipe that we're making here today. So we're gonna do 3 packages. These in the trash and the recycling. And then we're gonna mix this together and fold in some whipped topping. So I dropped that in the garbage, not in the recycling. Okay, so we're gonna just whisk this together. and get all the clumps mixed. And then I'm gonna fold in 2 containers. I got 2 containers that are 8 ounces each of the extra creamy Cool Whip. I do like to make my own homemade whipped cream, but if you wanna go the easy route, then this is the way to go. Move my cutting mat here. My bowl is slipping. Now, when you make pudding, typically you're gonna put this in the refrigerator so that it can solidify. We're not gonna do that yet. And I don't know if you can see, but there you can see those black flecks. So that may turn people off. If that's gonna bother you, then just leave it out, use what you can get. The worst part about using Cool Whip is you have to wait for it to defrost, so make sure you do that. And I like the extra creamy. That's why I got 2 8-ounce containers instead of 1 16-ounce. So you could get 1 16-ounce. I think it was 20 cents more for me to buy them separately than to buy one bigger container because they didn't have the extra creamy. I don't know if they make the larger size in the extra creamy or not. All right, so we're just gonna kind of fold and mix this together. And I'm doing a mixture of stirring and folding because we have some clumps here. But when you're folding ingredients, if you don't know what that means, you're literally folding over the ingredients just like this, all right? And in some recipes, you wanna be sure that you're not mixing and you're only folding. So this is gonna solidify in the fridge. So I'm not too concerned with that. Excuse me. All right, yeah, glad I used the bigger bowl, right? So, and I'm using our small mix-in scraper. And by the way, those the flecks of vanilla beans are much less noticeable when you add in that beautiful white whipped cream. Now it just looks like vanilla bean ice cream. So adding fresh vanilla bean to any recipe that uses vanilla, never a bad thing. Always the right idea, right? All right, so you want to continue to fold like this and mix until you don't see those yellow streaks. I can't tilt this bowl too much, but do you see how when I'm flipping that over, let me see if I can zoom in. Oops, didn't zoom. You see this yellow streak. I'm not sure how great the lighting will be to show you that color difference, but you can go around the bowl like this and help fold those ingredients together. So you want to keep doing this until you don't have those yellow streaks. You want everything to be incorporated nicely. I still have a couple, so you also want to make sure you're getting all the way on the bottom of the bowl so that you get it all nice and mixed. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside, and what we're gonna do next is we're gonna get this all layered up in our rectangle cool and serve tray. Now, this is what the tray looks like without the ice pucks. So these are little ice packs that go inside of this tray. My recommendation is that you keep the ice packs in the freezer until you're ready to use them. But I'm gonna show you how these go in, and I'm just gonna leave them in there just for the sake of time. And you put this little insert, so this clear insert, this is where you're going to put your food, right? So the food isn't touching those ice packs. And look, when you serve it, the lid fits right in the bottom. So now you can see all the pieces. I have these graham crackers, and this is a package that was already open, so we had a little Twixy clip on there. We're gonna take these and we're gonna do a layer of graham crackers, and you may have to break some of these to fit. For time's sake, I hate that I have to open up all these little packages. I've never bought these fresh stacks before. They're the short packs, but I actually like them because if you have kids like me, they open something and then they forget about it. They either don't close it back up all the way, they don't use the little Twixy clips like I want them to, and then they go stale. So this is a way for me to have, hopefully, less food waste, right? So I like the little fresh packs, but the only reason I bought these is because they were BOGO at Publix. So I don't shop at Publix very much, typically only on Sundays after church if I'm gonna be needing something for mealtime here. That's about the only time I go to Publix. It's right by my church, and it's the only grocery store between our house and the church. Okay, so I'm gonna break, I'm gonna break these to kind of fit in, and it's okay if it's not a perfect flat layer because guess what? You're not gonna really see. It's just gonna help with what this tastes like later. Okay, we're gonna put half of this on the top. So I'm gonna put, let's see. I hope this all fits in here. Spread this around, and then, yeah, I think it'll all fit. We're gonna do another layer of graham crackers. So here we go again. If you guys have not already gone to theflipflopchef.com and clicked on my recipe community, make sure that you do that. That's where all my recipes are. All my giveaways happen in that group. So this layer, I have to be careful or I'm gonna make a mess because I get my fingers and thumb in that mixture. So we're gonna do a layer here, and then we're gonna do the rest of the whipped cream mixture. And just to remind you, that's 3 packages of vanilla or French vanilla pudding with 4.5 cups of milk and that extra flavor punch with that vanilla bean. And then we're gonna end with a layer of graham crackers on the top. Then we're gonna put this in the refrigerator and let it kind of firm up. Whoops, I got some yellow. Remember I said you fold till you don't have any yellow? That was a full bowl. It's hard to make sure because I couldn't get all the way through to see. Okay, so we're gonna put all this on the top. I'm glad my Cool and Serve has a domed lid because it's gonna be really full. But after we have it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, we'll bring it back out, and my plan is to finish the video by showing you the finished part, the finished step. We're going to melt this container of chocolate fudge frosting and pour it, because when you melt it in the microwave, it will be pourable at that point. Pour it on the top and then put everything back in the fridge for later. Isn't this, oh my gosh, you guys, this looks amazing. And those vanilla beans, man, they look beautiful in here. I love anything with vanilla beans. So if you're like me, and I think you're gonna be excited about that. All right, so I need a new box. These were BOGO, so I was really glad that I already had 2 in my pantry because I don't have to buy any more because I got these a week or so ago because we were making, what did I call them? We basically made s'mores with peanut butter and marshmallow cream and put them under the broiler in their air fryer. Can't remember what we called them. Smuffer nutters, maybe? I can't remember what we came up with. But you'll have to go to my recipe community, get that recipe, and try it out. So we skipped the chocolate. We did peanut butter, marshmallow cream on a graham cracker and broiled it in the air fryer. Don't walk away if you do that. It will catch on fire. It doesn't take very long at all to broil it when you're using marshmallow fluff or cream, whatever you call it. Everybody has a different name for things, right? Let's see if I can get that in there. All right, so we're almost done here. I'm gonna pop this in the refrigerator. So you're gonna take the base. So I took that out from underneath the base, put this in here. We're gonna put it in the refrigerator about 30 minutes, just long enough for this to set up a little bit. And I'll come back, we're gonna melt the chocolate frosting, pour it over the top, put it back in the refrigerator. Overnight is best, but at least for 4 hours. And then the longer these graham crackers kind of soak, the better this is going to be. So stay tuned. I'll come back and show you the finished product soon. All right, everyone, I'm back, and I actually popped this in the freezer for about 20 minutes just to kind of cut that time by a little bit since I'm recording several videos today. I took this out, and I'm going to, you can see it's nice and firm. I went ahead and transferred my chocolate frosting, and I chose chocolate fudge. You could use milk chocolate, dark chocolate, whatever they have that you like, you can use that. But mine is chocolate fudge, and I went ahead and microwaved this. I microwaved it in the silicone bowl because a couple reasons. I didn't want to melt this, and I didn't want to ruin my frosting. So I transferred it in here, started with 20 seconds, gave it a little stir, and then I microwaved it again for 15 seconds and gave it another stir. You can see it's pourable, but it's still really thick. And that was the consistency I wanted. I did not want this to be so hot that it disturbed that pudding layer. So we're gonna just pour this on, and let's see. I'm gonna make a mess. I don't want to put this on my countertop. I'm gonna use my other scraper to get all the, use my handy dandy classic scraper. Do you guys know I have had this scraper since I joined Pampered Chef in 1999? Like, it's amazing how long. That's over 26 years, 26 and a half years actually. Almost to the day. All right, so scrape this off. Oh, this smells so good. Both of these are the kinds of things that you give your kids when you're done recording, so that they can lick them clean, or you can lick them yourself, whatever way you prefer. All right, so we're gonna just spread this on the top, and we're gonna put the lid back on and put it back in the fridge. I'm not gonna put it in the freezer because I don't want it to be frozen. These are called like icebox cakes when you put things like this in the fridge. So even though I think an icebox is a freezer, maybe. They're called icebox cakes. So this is like a icebox eclair or eclair icebox cake. What should we name it? All right, so I want to get that to the edges and pretty, right? So this is our small spatula. I don't think we sell this anymore, but it's just kind of like an offset cake decorating spatula. Perfect for this. And now we'll put the lid on here and put it in the fridge. Now, ideally, I suggest that you don't put the icebox in here until you're ready to serve it. I'm gonna be serving this in a few hours, so I'm gonna put it in the fridge. It'll be better tomorrow after it's been in the fridge overnight, but we can't wait until tomorrow. So we're gonna be trying this later on tonight. So to get this recipe and thousands more, go to theflipflopchef.com, click the button at the top of the page to join my recipe community. Make sure you look out every Friday, or every weekend really, for my Flip Flop Friday giveaway. It runs from Friday to Sunday, and all you have to do to enter is leave a comment on the post. There's no strings attached. If you win, all I ask is that you share the video, but there's no strings attached. I don't ask you to do anything more than that. So stay tuned for more videos. That's all I have for you today. Bye everyone.